Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Glow. Just wanted to come on really quick and share a testimony with you guys and tell on myself. So, last night I was going to drop something off to someone and I hit a stop sign, right? So, yeah, I hit a stop sign. Yeah. So, anyway, I hit the stop sign. And the one thing that I noticed was my reaction to it. Okay. Now, my first instinct was to run away from the situation and completely just not deal with it at all. And it was like, and let me tell you why. First of all, it was my company car. Second of all, my company car had just been in the shop like not even a month ago. And I had hit some ice, or I hit something. It was like the undercarriage of it. It hit the ice, and it was like dragging on the ground. So I had to have it in the shop. So yesterday when I was going to drop something off, I was looking down to see if I had the right address. And yeah, I smacked the stop sign. And it was so like reactionary, like I was so like frightened by it that I didn't even realize like I didn't back up. I kind of like went over it. So long story short, there was damage to the vehicle. So, but I'm going to take notice to how I responded to it. And I'm proud of myself because, when challenges and things come up, what comes out of you in those moments, And so I got to reflect on it. Okay, so I initially like just was like, I kept going and I was like, I can't, oh my gosh, I just hit a stop sign. Like I really just hit a stop sign. So, my first reaction was like to run and not deal with it and not try to own up. I'm just gonna be real, right? And it made me think about like Adam and Eve in the garden, and when they sinned against God, like they ran, they hid, they did not want to deal with the issue, right? And so I think sometimes our instinct is to try to run away and hide because of fear, right? So anyway, I did end up going back and I stopped and I called the police and told on myself and, waited for them to show up. And I sat there calmly, like I wasn't frustrated, I wasn't angered or anything. And years ago, I probably would have beat myself up. I probably would have been so hard on myself, and I wasn't. And I was grateful because God was teaching me like multiple lessons in that moment. For one, like just the fact that I wanted to run and hide, but I didn't, and I dealt with it. Two, what came out of me was not anger. It wasn't frustration. I didn't cuss. I didn't, do what I would have years ago. And so I was proud of myself in that moment. Also, what else did it teach me in that moment? Oh, and the one thing that came up was like being that person of integrity, right? And just owning up and having that integrity, and no matter what, doing the right thing, because that's what we're supposed to do. Because that's one of the first things that came to my mind was like, no, you're a person of integrity. You walk in that way. That is who you are now in Christ. And you have to tell on yourself. You have to deal with this, even if you feel like it's foolish or even if you feel embarrassed by it, and so I was just grateful and I was proud of myself for it. And also, lesson learned, make sure you have your directions out and all that before you actually leave your house, and don't look down at your phone because I have a tendency to do that at times. So, yeah. So anyway, what else? I just was writing and journaling it. So anyway, I did get a ticket. And I at this point, I was like, who cares about the ticket? God's my provider. It is what it is. I did the right thing. I reported it. I had to call this morning and report it to my job. And I so didn't want to do that. And I was embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's Janelle again. like feeling that, because it is embarrassing. It was a little embarrassing, but I had to deal with it. I had to own it. And so I was grateful. I had texted my husband this morning and told him, I hit a stop sign. He's like, what were you doing? And so he's like, well, maybe it's God trying to show you something in that moment. And sometimes it's just the small things like that, that wake us up or show us something bigger, So it really, really showed me, though, myself and the growth that I have in myself. And I was grateful. So even though I got a ticket, it was still like, I seen growth in me and I seen a different side of myself. And I let it go quickly, where years ago I would have bottled it up. I would have been upset. I would have been angry about it. That's how I would have responded to it, was in anger, but I didn't. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I wanted to see if there was anything else that I wanted to tell you, but yeah, I just let it go. Yeah, I don't know. It was just so awesome. It's like, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to those challenges and those trials that come up, and how you respond today, and just really pay attention to it, because you might think that you're not making progress. You might think that you're not moving forward, or that you've not changed in certain areas. But the reality is, when stuff comes up, that's when it challenges that new person. And so I just think about, out of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what is in you will come out. And in that moment, it was just like, I looked at it as a situation of, what do I need to learn from this? Well, like I said, check my directions, do this and this and that. But then it also showed me in that moment how much growth has occurred. And we don't give ourselves enough credit, or we don't give God enough credit, I should say. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So just pay attention to your growth, and be grateful for the growth that's in you, and know that it's small things like that, or things like that can happen, because everyday life happens, stuff does come up, accidents happen, but how are you responding to those things today? So just really focus on that as you go through your day today, and be grateful, because God is continuing to change you. He's continuing to work in you, and you're growing. I know you don't do it all right, and you might have moments where you fall and you fail, but that's okay. Get up and try again, and trust me, there will be circumstances that come up and will challenge you again. So how are you responding? Pay attention to it. And if you're not mindful of how you're responding, start to be mindful. So I love you guys. God bless you, and I will talk to you soon. It's your girl, Glow. Peace.